Welcome to episode 2. Shoe cam.
So, thank you so much, everyone, for the really warm reception to our first episode. And we're so glad that you want to be here chatting with us and listening to us share what we've been up to. So, thank you so much. It's been really amazing to see folks responding.
Yeah, and like we are looking at the comments, so we see what you're saying, and we're trying to put that into this whole podcast. Yeah, we love when people like, we love when people comment, we love when you subscribe. That makes us really happy. My name's Jacob. I'm Fiber Dreams by Jacob on Instagram, and
No, I'm Anna Campos. I guess we didn't even introduce ourselves. It's going great. Yeah, I'm Anna Campos. I own Circle of Stitches in Salem, Massachusetts, and we are here sharing our life as knitty, fibery, witchy people in Salem.
so what are you wearing?
Wow, so our episode today is actually going to be a Rhineback recap. So we're both wearing our Rhineback sweaters. And I am wearing my Comfort Fade by Andrea Mowry in La Aimee Merino DK. I'm so excited that we were able to get this yarn this summer. So of course that's what I had to make. Here it is. And it's a very excellent shawl collar. Because I know someone will ask, it says resting witch face. So I love it. So this sweater takes 4 colors of La Aimee, and my colors were, I should have written this beforehand. It's Ayre. This one is Fauna. I don't know. Crap.
It happened.
I will add it in the show notes. See, because we've obviously scripted everything really well ahead of time. But yeah, so
It's
what
how
are
we
you
roll.
wearing?
I am wearing the Andrea Mowry. We did Andrea Mowry last time too.
That's
We
true.
both had something.
It's not intentional. She
no.
just makes patterns that are really wearable.
And she really does, and they end up getting obsessed. Anywho, I'm wearing the Illuminate sweater. It was her cowl for Rhineback this year. I'm doing it in Rusted Rainbow from Spincycle, and then what was the
It's
Shibui
Shibui
color?
Silk Cloud. I think that's Bordeaux.
See, she got my color down. I should be as good of a friend. Know her colors.
This is your fault,
It is my
obviously.
fault. Obviously. I did it.
Yeah, so we did go to Rhinebeck last month,
Mhm.
which was amazing, obviously, after it being shut down for the pandemic. But it was your first time going.
It was.
Which was amazing, and I was so glad to get to take you, and I'm really glad that I got to put you on Christy Glass's video, even though you weren't too pleased. At the time, he was all camera shy, but you know what? I think that's what gave start to this.
A whole bunch. I think we randomly decided to do this after that.
Right?
But yeah, so about Rhinebeck, because that was insane going to Rhinebeck. First off, if you don't know me, I am obsessed with llamas, and I'm obsessed with sheep. Literally obsessed. Like, I don't think, like, she's trying to pull me, you know there's yarn here, right? Like, you should be going and seeing stuff. All the animals there, and they're just, like, walking around randomly. Especially, what was it, Party Llama with the fringe bangs? That llama did not even care. She was out, she had sawdust all over herself, but she was ready for a party. She was just there. So then the thing with Rhinebeck is that it can be overwhelming at times, because you go in there, and for people that haven't ever been there, including myself, yarn's everywhere, vendors are everywhere, project bags are everywhere, and then also to add to that, we both made sweaters for it, but you can imagine that everyone else has made sweaters for it, and it's like a sweater fashion show. Yeah. Every time you go and see a different person, you go and see something new or a pattern that you haven't seen. Because, like, I know me, I am a Ravelry addict. I will literally just scroll through there were patterns there that I had never seen before on Ravelry. It was just really interesting to see everyone and have that environment of creativity.
Well, and you got to see so many different versions of your sweater,
Yes.
which is really, really fun. But, it's hard to describe Rhinebeck to people who haven't gone, and that's why we wanted to kind of have Jacob share it being his first time going. And I think we're about to have some people awkwardly knock on the door while we're doing this.
Hey.
Okay, we're gonna pretend that's not happening. honestly.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's hard to describe, but there's something really special about going to Rhinebeck and being surrounded by all your people. And I know that that was something that was really important to you.
It really was. I just, like, it was great in the fact that it also made me step out of a comfort zone that I was in. Like, luckily I have Anna because she pushes me to do things that maybe I wouldn't do normally, or I would, like, not...
In a kind, good, loving way.
But, I mean, it's a thing. Like, knitters, a lot of us have, like, these things, these anxieties. We have all these, like, things that sometimes hold us back from doing things, and it's nice to be around people in that environment that they have those same things, and everyone's knitting, and for me, knitting is my comfort. It's what I do. If I'm having tons of anxiety, you're going to see me stitching like a crazy person. But it was great that Rhinebeck kind of had all those different elements, and it just made me feel like at home around my people, having my tribe of people that were around me.
Yeah, and it's also a chance to like meet all the people that you've only known online in person, and you know, see that there's like real humans behind that, and you know, you get to make really amazing friends. There's people who I, you know, really care about a lot, but we only really see each other in person at Rhinebeck. So I'm really glad that you got to go and do that. And obviously, you didn't even get the full experience yet because they were at, I think, 70% capacity for vendors, so everything was a little more spaced out. They were trying to do some COVID safety. And so, you know, hopefully next year, hopefully next year we'll have a more complete experience, and then there will be even more yarn and even more stuff to see.
We do a podcast from our cabin at Rhinebeck, and all of a sudden we're just like both here like this with yarns. Hey. Just
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the other fun part of Rhinebeck, right? Because we went for the whole weekend. We actually stayed for 3 nights. And it's really nice to have that getaway, and you just hang out in your cabin and knit, and there's always deer, like, walking around in the back. You know, I've stayed at, like, I think 3 different cabins over the years now going to Rhinebeck, and there's always deer in the morning. This was the first time that we got to see one pee. You know, for like in
you took a video of it. You were literally...
I had never seen a deer squatting, and, you know, and on the one hand, you know, I'm going outside and I'm like, hey, it's Rhinebeck, and you know it's Rhinebeck because I'm having breakfast with deer, and like, oh, that deer is going to the bathroom. This is less scenic than I planned. But,
oh, that was so good. Yeah. It was so good.
Yeah. So what was your favorite part about Rhinebeck?
I would have to say the little times that we stepped away and had our groups of knitting, because I just found it so interesting. Like, you have all these things going around, and then you just have these little clusters of people knitting. That was like one of my favorite parts. The other, again, I mentioned the animals, and then I guess seeing all the different, like, kind of yarns and all the different yarn dyers and all the different, like, there's so much different textures and the patterns that are just out there. Those were all my favorite things about going. Plus being around my friends and having Anna there and coordinating outfits and, you know.
You know what? So I think that we need to take a moment to splice in the photo of us together at Rhinebeck.
We did.
Yeah, actually, like, we reverse twinned, and it wasn't even on purpose.
Nope.
But, you know, that's why we're perfect together.
Yeah, it is. We did it.
We did it. All right, so here's our amazing photo. So, yeah, we got comments being like, oh, look at you guys, I love your planned outfits. Like, oh, we just really like the same colors.
And we only planned the nails. That was about it. We had matching nails on the second day.
That's true, yes. Because, of course, that night we had to go home and do, like, Halloween nails.
Yeah. So. It was kind of funny when we were doing it, but yeah.
It was amazing. So anyway, so we just wanted to share a bit about going to Rhinebeck for, you know, folks who haven't gone, or if you've gone, just, you know, the newbies experience is always fun to hear again.
Reminiscing. It's always great to reminisce about good experiences.
And also, you know, beautiful sweaters. I will admit, I didn't actually manage to finish knitting this at Rhinebeck. I finished right after because I didn't read the pattern properly, and I did twice as many rows on the collar than I needed to, and I had this, like, Superman cape going, and
and mine wasn't finished either. Like, I had stitch markers in one arm. I was doing magic loop, so I had the needle, like a long needle just hanging, chilling out right here.
Yeah, so did Aimee from BKnitsHandmade. She was wearing her needles in. That's totally normal.
And that's a total Rhinebeck thing that I would have never thought of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I told you, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Meanwhile, I'm freaking like, it's not done. I'm never going to be able to do it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you got like a bad grade on your report.
I did.
Rhinebeck report card.
Oh, no.
Anyway. So, we also wanted to share some of what's new in the store this week because we got a giant shipment of Malabrigo. We got tons of Malabrigo Rios. We got Malabrigo Arroyo. And we got, of course, for this time of year, Malabrigo Rasta, which is the super, super bulky that you can knit on size like 13 to 17 needles in American sizes. And it makes amazing holiday gifts because that's what folks are asking us for is, you know, quick holiday gifts. So we're going to show you some of like the amazing squishy colors that came in. Jacob, you picked some of the ones that you liked.
Yeah, and we also, we picked out patterns to show off and different yarn combinations that you can do with that. I guess I will start. So I have a couple, I'm sorry, I'm not that great prepared. I do have a list that I'm going to look at because I want to make sure I give everyone credit.
Gasp.
I know. So I have a pattern that I picked out, which is the Rapture Hat. It's by BKnitsHandmade. It's fun because it's got some cables in it, so it keeps things a little bit interesting while you're doing your holiday knitting. But it's also quick because all of us, if you're a knitter, people are always asking you inevitably, make me something for Christmas or some type of random thing. So let's go into some of the colors that we can do with this.
Well, before we do that, I'm going to splice in a photo of the hat right now. And we're back. So let's share some colors.
Yes. So the first one I kind of picked for this hat, because it's a cable work hat, was I'm just going to have you name all of them. So
the Laguna Negra, Black Lagoon.
Okay. And I felt that this one was a good color for a holiday knit, essentially because it's a very neutral color. A lot of people don't know what the person that they're knitting for kind of wears for colors, or they're just trying to do it as a surprise. Like, say you, for whatever reason, we're doing a hat for a coworker or something like that. Neutrals are always a safe bet.
Yeah, this is another good neutral and blue super. I consider blue and neutral. Azul profundo, which means deep blue.
And it's so pretty and squishy.
What else you pick?
All right, I'm actually gonna move on to my second one, which is the Fortitude Hat. Then we're going to splice in a picture right here. And this hat is by McClure. It is a colorwork hat in the super bulky Rasta colors. I have a couple things that I thought would be good combinations. So I thought actually that these two together would make a cute combination for this pattern. And then...
So this is lettuce and Bahamas green. There you go. Super squishy.
And then, of course, because it's me and Anna, I felt...
The most us combo ever.
These two colors would be wonderful together. So we have our Rank Ochre.
Of course.
And then we have Archangel for that.
Which looks sort of like your sweater, by the way, Archangel.
Actually, going back to the Rhinebeck thing, literally the only yarns that I bought were variations of the colors that I was wearing, essentially.
Well, means you like them.
I know. So then I have a third one that I thought would be great for this, and that was the Sidewinder Cowl. So I wanted to give a little bit more options for what I would pick for knits for winter. And that one is just a simple cowl with, I believe it's a little bit of cable work in it as well. It just has some lines that kind of go diagonally around it.
And we're going to show it.
We're going to show it right now. And so for these ones, I kind of felt that it would be nice to have one that's a little bit more on the variegated side with like the colors that run into each other, because you're just doing one solid. And I thought that it would be cool because while it's changing and you're doing your cables over, you would really be able to see the differences in the yarn.
Nice. So this is India Cedar. With beautiful purples and watery blues and greens.
And then I also, for the same reasons, chose this one. And the good thing about like the Malabrigo Rios colors is that
Rasta. But yeah.
Sorry. Well, let's redo that. The good thing about the Malabrigo Rasta colors are that all of them are a little bit different, but all the different colors and they all change, and it's just really pretty how they knit up.
Yeah. And this one is Piedras. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Love it. Yeah, so I picked a few patterns too, and actually I'm going to start with one that's one of my old patterns, and this cowl is honestly so old. It's got to be, it's like 5 years old at this point, but this is the Wharf Wanderer cowl, and it's just, you know, it's over my hair right now, but it's just a big squishy. It just takes one skein. This color was Oxido that I did, and it comes with 2 buttons, so if you want to wear it a little up higher, you can. And this one, actually, if you buy Rasta from the shop, I send you the pattern for free, so that's a really good one for one skein. I prefer to wear it with, you know, one button open, so it lies like this. You know, generally not over my hair, but you get the picture. So this one is my pattern. It's called Wharf Wanderer, and I also wanted to share the Twisted Candy Hat and Cowl. There's 2 patterns there by Anna Tucker, and they both use 2 colors of Rasta to create a little bit of a braid twist. So it's like an advanced beginner pattern. They're super cute. So I'm going to splice in the photos now. And I also picked out some color combinations. And I didn't go with Frank Ochre, but I went with another one that is very much my color palette. So this is Piedras and Sunset, which I think play really, really nicely together. And I also got Archangel, of course, because of course we picked some of the same colors, but Archangel and Fuchsia, so that you get a nice bright pop of color. And then my last color combination is Aniversario with Teal Feather. Yep, because I will bring out the beautiful teals. Right, so the good thing about these patterns is that they knit up super, super fast, and the colors are stunning, so they make really, really great gifts. So we hope that this gives you some pattern inspiration for some holiday knits. And did you have any other patterns you wanted to share or thoughts?
I did not right now. Yeah.
So I have one more last little thing to share. We're trying to be good about not making these episodes too long so that you can actually watch all of them. But for those of you who missed out on our Samhain or Halloween Fiber Witch boxes, I actually have 2 sets of just the yarn that are left because just of the size of the dye lots. So if you missed out on the boxes but you wanted to get a set of this hand-dyed yarn that I did for the boxes, you can actually find that on the website now. There's just a couple of them, so be sure that you run over to get them. But thank you so much for joining us for another episode. We hope that you're enjoying hanging out with us and getting some inspiration, and let us know what you want to hear more about. You know, and be sure to like and subscribe so you can
be sure to like and subscribe and leave comments down below. We love hearing from you.
I was doing really well. You know?
Were doing great.
What?
So this is...
You're gonna have to cut some of this out. I need some water.